Hey, my name is Katie. I teach some classes at Workshop San Francisco, and today we're going to be making jewelry out of shrink plastic. You'll need a few ingredients for this, and they're kind of household items, so that's easy. You need some brown paper, shrink plastic, needle nose pliers, a hole punch, a spoon, and some embossing powder. I also like keeping some toothpicks handy just in case anything goes wrong. So shrink plastic has gotten a lot more awesome since you were a kid because you don't have to work with the factory's templates of Smurfs and Tinkerbell anymore. You can use your own images if you get the inkjet printable shrink plastic. So what I'm doing here is I just took some photos of mine. That's my cat Francis. You print it out and then you cut it. Before you put it in the oven, remember if you're gonna make jewelry out of it, it's gonna need some holes punched in it so that then you can attach a chain or an earring loop or whatever you're gonna make out of it. So punch your hole before you put it in the oven, otherwise it's a goner. Before we put it in the oven also, we're gonna put it on a piece of our paper so that it doesn't melt and stick to your oven and stay there forever. I have the oven at 325, so it does some acrobatics in there and then it'll flatten itself out. As soon as it flattens out, you want to take it out of the oven, preferably without burning yourself. Almost immediately after you take it out of the oven, you can take it off the paper. It's completely hard. It's gotten about 10 times as thick and about 30% the size. So there's Tiny Francis now. Before she's done though, we're gonna make it nice and glossy, and to do that, we're gonna put on embossing powder. You can find embossing powder at any craft store. It's usually in the stamping and scrapbooking area, and what it does is it makes a nice coat of gloss over it. It comes in crystals. When you put it in the oven, they're gonna melt and then harden. So back into the oven, the second time at the same heat. And you just keep your eye on it and it'll be pretty obvious when it's done because instead of being opaque, it's gonna be clear. So once all of the crystals have melted, we're gonna take it out again. This time we don't wanna touch it because we'll burn ourselves and ruin the pendant. So I'm just gonna let it dry on here for a few minutes and then we'll turn it into a necklace. So after about a minute of taking it out of the oven, you can take the pendant off of the paper and it's got a nice glossy finish to it. In addition to making it look better and more finished, the gloss also protects the color underneath it. In order to turn this into jewelry, we need to put a jump ring on it and a little chain through it, and then we've got a necklace. So I'm going to take a jump ring. I'm going to use my needle nose pliers. It's helpful to have 2 of them. I'm going to thread this through. So we're going to close up the jump ring. Get a chain and thread it through. And then you're going to rock some shrink plastic jewelry. So Franny went from this to this. Thanks for watching.